Retiree Diary.
So I went to bed last night around 7 o'clock. Did not sleep well at all. Got up at 11, got up again at about 1:30. Couldn't fall back to sleep, so I finally got up around a little after 2. And, Gesundheit. Wait a minute. Yahoo! Much better. Okay. Is there a dreaded third one? No. So it's 10 minutes after 3 in the morning, and I'm about to leave for my trip to... So as I was driving down Route 32, just past Sarvis Lane, there were a whole bunch of emergency vehicles with their lights on. It was a little on the disturbing side. Hopefully not a harbinger of what's to come. Anyway, stopped off at the Sunoco to grab some coffee. Now, I almost never drink coffee. It's just not my drink of choice. But when I'm going early in the morning on a trip like this, yeah, gotta have some coffee to start things off. Unfortunately, it's not hot, it's just tepid, but it'll do.
Right onto the I-87 South, New York State Thruway South ramp to New York City.
Well, yes, ma'am, I certainly will. I hate driving in New Jersey. God, I hate driving in New Jersey. So it's 4:30 in the morning, we're down in Newark, and there's a traffic jam. You believe that? 4:30 in the morning, and we have a traffic jam. Woo! Yeah. Well, since Newark, the roads have been lovely and clear. I'm in Delaware right now. Delaware? Here. Just passing by Dover. Well, that's not bad at all, huh? 36.3 miles to the gallon on this first leg of the journey. And let's reset the counter. And we're heading off. Just stopped off to get gas here and some eye drops. Forgot them at home and my eyes were drying out. Well, that's no good. Can't have that happen. So I took a few minutes to stretch my legs here at the Virginia Welcome Center, making really good time. Way out yonder is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Can't see a whole heck of a lot from here, but still pretty cool. I guess it's 17 miles, part of which is actually underneath the water. Somewhere over there is the rest of Virginia. Got some nice wave action going on down here. Well, this is a far choppier and nastier tunnel than the Chesapeake Bay. This is heading into Hampton. It's definitely in more disrepair, and the traffic is definitely yuck. Whatever it is, we'll get through it.
Man.
So, after a long drive, I finally made it down to Hampton, Virginia, the home of my buddy from a long, long, long time ago. Say hello to Ralph Jenkins. Woo! So, Ralph and I, we grew up together in New Paltz, and I first ran into him on the school bus when I was going to the campus school way back when. I don't even remember, how was it that you were on that school bus? It was just you sitting in the front seat.
Because I took the bus from middle school to my mom's school, because I would go to mom's school and she would drive us home.
What was your mom's school?
She worked at Duzine. She was a teacher at Duzine. She was a second grade teacher at Duzine.
So that bus also went to Duzine?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Interesting. So I never knew that.
Yeah. Yep. And then we dropped you guys off and took us to Duzine, right to Duzine.
We were in Little League together.
Yep.
I think we started off in the Expos.
Dodgers.
It was a Dodgers first. It was a Dodgers first, right. I remember Tracy Harris.
We didn't do too good on that first year.
we weren't. I remember Tracy Harris was our pitcher.
Yeah, and so was, who else pitched for us? I pitched a little bit for us too, but I can't remember who else pitched. But yeah, we were like 2-7 that season or something. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, we weren't good. They put me out in center field, and I mean, if I could run, and if I could catch the ball, we were golden. My arm was like a wet noodle trying to throw it back in, though.
I remember we were purple. Purple was and I was thinking the Dodgers
Yeah,
were
like
purple,
maroon.
they're blue and gray. What's that all about? But,
My mom's got some of those old pictures.
Oh, does she? That's funny.
I mean, there's just so much out there to relate. But what's your favorite memory of our time up in New Paltz?
Really, it's got to be riding bikes up to like the college and stuff, and just like catching pop flies. We'd go hit each other. We'd go hit balls to each other and stuff. We went most of the time, and then it was some of the other guys went too. But yeah, it was pretty much it. That was the fun part.
It's always good seeing,
especially going back to the fence, having to catch one before it went over the fence.
Trying to climb over that fence.
Yep. Yeah, it was fun though.
That was a lot of fun. It was low stakes, but lots of high fun.
Yep. It's got to be it.
Yeah, Ralph and I were in 2 classes together in high school. This is a 9th grade English class with Mrs. Ecton.
Oh boy, yeah, I remember her.
She was interesting.
Yeah, she was.
And then we were in 12th grade. We took Mr. Zimmerman's AP Chemistry
Chem together.
class
That's
together,
right. Yeah, we had AP Chem together.
And I don't know how you did the first marking period, but I had to be rescued from a failing grade.
I think I had like a C or something.
I promised Mr. Zimmerman that if he raised it up to a 65, I would come in every day I had study hall and work on the stuff like 2 weeks ahead of time.
I remember we used to go up there for study hall.
Yeah, me, John Rock, and Kathy Martin used to go up there together and work on our stuff.
That. Yeah, that's right.
Like 2 weeks ahead of time. We rocked it after that.
Well, yeah, because we had all that extra time. Everybody else was just doing class time.
How'd you do on the AP exam? Do you remember?
I want to say I got a B or something. I think I ended up total with the AP class. I think
Like
I ended
a
up with
3?
a B. Yeah, I think I had a 3 on everything.
Yeah, I had a 3 also.
I think that's what I got.
It's enough for 10 credits at SUNY New Paltz.
Yeah, I don't think I got it. I don't think I had a C. I think it was all B's.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think so. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Of course, my parents probably still have all my records, so I could go to them and like find them that way.
I just found my old college transcripts. They are not pretty.
Oh, did you? I know mine were. I think I ended up with a 2.57 average from SUNY New Paltz.
Oh my gosh. I was at 297.
That's from SUNY.
I know.
New Paltz.
Well, we both worked a lot when we were going to college. You had the fruit stand.
That's what did it, I think. I think working and going to school at the same time. But
no one could accuse the two of us of partying too hard, that's for sure.
No, I saved that for the weekends.
So that's Ralph Jenkins, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand.
Hey, everybody. Bye, everybody.
So after an absolutely wonderful visit, we went out to lunch. Ralph's got this really great barbecue place just down the road. It's time to head on to Nag's Head for the hotel and then on to the Bodie Island Lighthouse. Finally, at the end of an incredibly exhausting day, I find myself here at this lighthouse. Now, I thought it was the Bodie Island Lighthouse. Apparently, it's the Bodie Island Lighthouse, and it's supposed to still be fully functional. I haven't seen any lights on it yet, but I'm wondering if they just come on after dark. They're probably LED or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to see what I can get, so watch this space for the amazing photos I take of this lighthouse. Good morning. I speak to you this morning from the comfort of my room at the Comfort Inn. And I have to say that the room definitely lived up to its promise. And I would say that a large reason that happened is because I brought my own pillow from home. Whenever I go out to a hotel, I find the hotel pillows to be objectionable. They're just never comfortable enough. They're either too thin or they're too thick, and either way, I end up with a nasty headache in the morning. Neck ache, too. Not this morning. Got a good night's sleep last night. I'm a little congested. I think that's due to the overpowering presence of pollen that hit me all at once instead of gradually building up like it usually does every spring. But since all of these trees are in bloom, the maple trees, oh man, those maple trees are going gangbusters. As my old friend Mark used to say, those gall-darned fornicating trees are at it again. And every spring that just, bam, just whacks you right in the face. Perhaps I should explain who I am and why I'm doing this. That might help. Now, for long-time watchers of this channel, and there probably aren't many of you, because I haven't posted anything in quite some time, my name is Mark Rosengarten, and I used to be a high school chemistry teacher, and that's why there's all this chemistry content on this page. I put together tutorial videos and music videos to help my students throughout the years. And they were of help, and I decided when I retired, let's just keep this stuff up. You know, if they were helping, that's not going to change. So I decided let's just keep all of these up. And then I was going to do this web series, this YouTube series called Retiree Diary. And I did a couple of episodes. I even came up with a song for it based on a song I used to sing before I had to go to work. You know, I don't want to go to work today. All I want to do is stay home and play with my furry little kitties. I don't want to go to work. But when I retired, I was able to change that to I don't have to go to work today, etc., etc. But I kind of became disillusioned with it. It seemed to me to be a little bit of a narcissistic project, like pretty much everything else on YouTube. But I realize now I'm getting older, and I don't remember things quite as well as I used to. And I used to really love making videos of the trips that I've taken. And it helps me to remember, you know, look back and enjoy. And if I'm doing that, why not share that experience with you? Why? Because it's possible you might learn something about locations you've never been before, and you might be inspired to try them out. So I'm going to revive this series. I don't know how often I'm going to post, however often I end up going out places. Today I'm going to be going to Clayton, North Carolina to visit with my friends Charlie and John, who I haven't seen since the mid-1990s. We were very close in college. Great couple of guys. They're identical twins, and they're identically awesome. And tomorrow we're going to be in Charleston, South Carolina, which is our ultimate goal, to spend a few days down there taking photos with my good friends Del and April. They're also just wonderful people, very talented photographers, and they come down here pretty much every year to photograph the magnolias in bloom. So I figured this year I'd join them. Since I'm not working, I can. So there's no chance of sunrise this morning. It's raining right now. Waves are crashing. So I found another lighthouse, actually only about a 6-minute drive from here. It's a small lighthouse out on a pier. And on the way out, I'm going to snag it and see what we can get. So when we get to that, I'll fire this back up again. Here we are at the Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse. Went for a nice walk along the beach and got some really great pictures of a pier, which will appear right here. And now the pictures of this lighthouse will appear magically.
This is not Masterpiece Theater.
It isn't?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
We are in the study of one Charles Seelig.
Hello.
And along with him, we have his brother, John Seelig.
Hi.
What is one of your favorite memories of your time up in New Paltz?
New Paltz. Wow. Well, certainly being with my friends, Ross, Brian, Steve, Lynn, of course, you guys, and I was meaning to ask this, what was her name? Sue.
Thornton.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Thornton.
Graff, yes. Has anyone seen her?
Yeah, she got married to John Thornton, and I don't know where they're living now, but I do hear from them from time to time.
And of course, Tom. Maybe one day we'll see him again.
I hope so.
Of course, Ross will want me to at least mention brown coat hangers at least once.
You'll have to tell
and
me
how
the story.
they mysteriously appear in the Vandenberg Learning Center or other places scattered around campus.
I forget exactly why they started appearing.
Because they were
but
commenting.
they did that just to annoy you.
Yeah,
Who did that?
just to that
Why
was.
it occurred?
It was, I
How
think it
did
was Ross
start?
and Brian. I don't know.
did it
It was just something that they would do because I guess at some point in time, Brian had maybe joked to me about how I had brown-colored coat hangers. I don't know. Maybe we were joking around, made some reference to, like, I don't know, Nazi brown shirts or something. I don't know, but somehow
Brian, maybe
that got to the point where I would go into my classroom and sit down, and these were the old desks like you would have in elementary school, where you didn't just have the surface, but you actually had like a compartment underneath to put books and so on. And there was a coat hanger one time underneath, and then there was one time there was one hanging on the wall. Somebody had gone in there and put one on the wall. So
You know, I went to elementary school at the Vandenberg Learning Center when it was the campus school.
Wow.
Yeah. But by the time we were in college, that no longer existed.
No. Oh, yeah. Is the building knocked down, I guess?
Oh, no, it's still there.
It's still
it just
there.
became
Okay.
their nursing school, which is
wow.
now they no longer do nursing there either.
Ha!
So. What about you,
Vandenberg
John? What's your
Learning Center.
favorite memories of New Paltz?
Well, as he said, as well as the classes and friends up there, I really loved the area, the environment. I loved walking along the Walk Hill River,
Mohonk.
and then Mohonk Mountain House in particular. I loved going on hikes there. I continued to hike up there years after graduating. Still go back and hike occasionally, and that's always been special.
Now, which of you were involved in the Great Flag Caper?
Well, that's you, John, and Brian.
I knew Brian was the mastermind behind
and
it.
Tony Coco.
Oh,
I thought
really?
it was a stop
Yeah.
sign.
The stop. Sorry. Well, no. Oh, I'm sorry. So actually, I'm the accessory after the fact with the flag. Then we can get into the stop sign. No,
a different story,
the flag was different. Brian enjoyed making things disappear, such as bottles that belonged to the bar where we had just walked out
Which
of.
weren't empty.
Which weren't empty.
Yeah.
Or anything else that wasn't nailed down.
Five-finger discount.
But anyway,
I didn't know he had a klepto
these,
streak.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
definitely
oh, yeah.
klepto. One evening, I'm in my room, and Brian comes in. He's like, "Chuck, look at this!" And he takes out from underneath his jacket a folded American flag. And at first, I was like,
Did he fold it properly?
yes, it was actually folded properly.
okay.
So I was like, okay. And then he told me where it was from. It was the town hall's flag. So, of New Paltz. So, time goes by. I'm up in Albany as a student taking an internship working in the New York State Senate. And every so often there's a day set aside where the governor basically has these flags. He's just watching the ceremony, but the flags come down and they've flown just temporarily above the Capitol. And they lower the flag, and then they say, this flag is going to be going to such and such village, town, whatever. And
Just happened to be there at the right time.
I was there for the replacement for the flag from the town of New Paltz. And I just felt it was kind of ironic where I could have leaned over and said, "Mr. Governor,
I know where the
I know where the original flag is." Yeah, no, I could have said something there, I guess, but no,
Brian's
I
room.
didn't.
Brian's room. Yes.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. And then I think John should explain the stop sign.
Well, I'll tell the story. I don't know if it's possible to explain why it happened, but alcohol was involved, so...
Most of the best stories involve alcohol.
Yes.
Well, we had been out in the town and happy hour, and long after happy hour, we decided to head home. And me and Tony Coco and Brian, we were walking back up to campus, and we went past the town hall area, where they work on stuff. And on the side of the building, they have piled up construction pieces and tools and things. And one of the things we see lying on the ground is a pole with a stop sign and the concrete base. Like the whole, they'd taken out the whole thing, I guess, to replace or something. And it was left there on the side of the road. And Brian was like, "Oh, this would look great in the dorm room suite." Yeah. And Tony and I were like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So he tries to pick it up, and then it turns out this thing's really heavy, and so we ended up, all three of us, carrying this thing halfway across campus. By the time we were halfway across campus, it was sort of beginning to sink in, this looks
suspicious.
Yeah, this looks suspicious. This is illegal. This is, and then we realized there's a police car up ahead of us in the middle of the campus patrol car. So we're like, let's put this down and
walk away
and go around the library and run. So we put it down and go around the library, and there's the entire campus police and everybody else just waiting. Like they'd been watching us walk, and they all, they thought it was pretty amusing. They took us in and, they took our fingerprints and all that, and they set up a court date and had to talk to the dean, and the dean thought we were a bunch of idiots. And but other than that, that was that one incident, and Tony,
fat, drunken, stupid
yes, exactly.
young man, there's no way to go through life.
As Dean Vermer would say. Brian was an RA, and Tony had a perfect 4.0 grade average, so it's they took pity. They were like, okay, this is obviously you don't normally do these things, so if you do, I forgot how many hours community service, you could make up for it.
Normally
there won't be any record.
Things. They didn't know Brian.
Yeah,
no, they did not.
There will not be any. If you do these things, so we ended up helping McGruff the crime dog.
Community service.
With I think it was something to do with children.
They thought it was the perfect crime.
Yeah, yes.
and
no,
Brian obviously
not
didn't
even
learn
close.
anything from it because the flag incident came later.
Well, I had a lovely visit with Charlie and John, and I decided to leave and drive all the way down to Charleston instead of spending a night in the meantime. And, passing by this old tourist trap here, south of the border. Never actually been in there. I guess it's supposed to be just a shadow of its former self, but anyway, that was south of the border. Yeehaw! On to Charleston. Well, here I am at the Sleep Inn in Charleston. I'll be here for the next 4 nights. I'm not going to do anything else for tonight because I've just driven hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles today, so tomorrow becomes the real fun in Charleston, yeah! So here we are at Folly Beach Pier down in Charleston. Doesn't really look like we're going to get much of a sunrise. Clouds are very low down at the horizon, although that hasn't stopped a whole crowd of people from coming down to take pictures and marvel in the beauty of it. Well, we made it to Charleston. We had a lovely sunrise at the beach. And now we are at Rainbow Row. Over here we have a wild dell taking some early morning photographs. They won't be able to get you for assault, but they'll definitely be able to get you for battery! They definitely leave it up to the imagination, don't they?
Was this building white when I shot it?
So here we are at the Charleston Tea Plantation. Rather lovely, eh? And here we have the angel oak tree, this vast edifice of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Botany Bay Beach. And the last stop of the day before heading back to the hotel is this lovely tree-lined lane leading down into Botany Bay, and then we'll be heading back to the hotel. Good day today. Welcome to a beautiful sunrise over lovely, lovely downtown Charleston. All set up with the camera this morning to get some lovely snaps. As we can see, April is down there jockeying for position to get the shot that she's looking for of this pink building right here. While just across the street we have our very own Del Higgins setting up his camera to get the composition he's looking for as well.
Friday. Thank you.
It was nice and warm out like it is now. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
The fabled pineapple fountain of Charleston. So, Del, what do you think of Cypress Gardens so far?
Oh, it's wonderful, man. A little breezy, a little chilly, but you know, beautiful day.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day.
Not working. It's what, noon now?
Is it? And after a hearty lunch of shrimp and grits, here we are at Boone Hall Plantation, the Avenue of Oaks. And we score!
Get pay dirt, kids.
Well, good morning. Here we are in Charleston for one last day. The plan today is to head to this location where there are some trees out on a lake and photograph that around sunrise. Come back and go to Magnolia Gardens. So that'll be a lot of fun. Tomorrow we're going to leave and start our trip back home. But in the meantime, day 3 in Charleston. Windy morning here on this lake with some cypress trees. There are discussions on the ethics of revealing photo locations. A lot of times, spectacular locations are going to end up getting ruined by people flocking there to pad their Instagram feed or what have you. So as a result, I'm not going to be revealing the exact location of this beautiful place. However, I'm not exactly sure where it is anyway, since I was driven here by someone else. Guard nature. Nature is very fragile, and human beings typically are very ham-fisted when it comes to dealing with locations like this. Now that was a really great way to spend the morning. We've come back to the hotel. We're going to be heading out soon to the Magnolia Plantation. It's going to be a beautiful rest of the day, my last day here in Charleston, and we'll make the most of it. All right, here we go. Lovely morning here at the Magnolia Plantation. Here on this ancient bamboo, we see the hieroglyphics from the ancients, depicting who knows what, indecipherable. These southern live oaks have been a very big part of this trip. They go every which way, they're thick, they're gorgeous. So dramatic. One last look down the Oak Avenue as the light filters through high clouds. And with that, my time here in Charleston has come to an end. Tomorrow it's off to Luray Caverns. my plan was to go to Luray Caverns, but shortly after I finished that last segment, I realized I didn't care whether I went to Luray Caverns or not. In fact, I just kind of wanted to be home as soon as possible. So I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning the next day, was out the door 2:28 a.m., and did the 815-mile drive home with only 2 stops to get gas. I got home around 4 in the afternoon. Now, why did I want to get home at 4 in the afternoon? Because I couldn't resist this any longer. I needed to be back with my kittens. And so now I'm back with my kittens. And they are absolutely thrilled to have me here. Anyway, time to go process the photos from this trip and this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed traveling along with me to Charleston. And I'm Mark Rosengarten, and I hope you join me on my next trip, wherever and whenever that might be. Take care for now. Be good.